The federal government has ordered the closure of the nation's borders for Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections with effect from 12 noon Friday, February the 22nd, 2019. In a statement issued by the Nigeria Immigration Service, Mr. Mohammed Babandede, the order was announced by the Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazao, retired. This is to restrict movement across the borders on election day. And Kano State Police Command has confirmed the death of 2 persons during Thursday's clash between supporters of the 2 leading political parties in the state. As a result of this, the Kano State Police Command has arrested Abdul Mumin Jibrin, a member representing Kiru and Bebeji Federal Constituency, but latest reports hint that he may have been released on bail tonight. Well, with just a few hours to the elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has replaced Senator John Onwa-Eno with Usani as the Cross River State APC governorship candidates. Now, Senator Victor Ndoma-Egba and other members in the national and state houses of assembly loyal to Senator Onwa-Eno have also been replaced by INEC. Briefing newsmen at the INEC headquarters in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, the resident electoral commissioner, Dr. Franklin Brai, explained that the decision is from the INEC headquarters office. Now, from this latest change, all candidates from the John Etim-led faction will have their names on the ballot come the general elections. Well, let's bring you now the story we told you about the Kano State Police Command confirming the death of 2 persons during Thursday's clash. Our correspondent there, Idris Jibrin, has the latest from Kano.
What comes up today is that the Kano State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of Abdul Mumin Jibrin Kofa, who is a member Federal House of Representatives representing Kiru Bebeji Federal Constituency on the allegations that he was involved in yesterday's clash, during which 2 people were confirmed to have been killed and several others injured. According to the Kano State Police Command, about 20 vehicles were also destroyed during the clash. The command also confirmed that a clinic in Kofa has also been destroyed, set on fire. Now, as it is now, the AIG in charge of Zone 1, Mr. Dan Bature, visited the village of Kofa to ascertain the situation and subsequently invited and ordered the arrest of Abdul Mumin Jibrin Kofa. So as it is now, Abdul Mumin Jibrin Kofa and some other top members of the APC in Kano are with the state CID in Kano State for interrogation on the allegation of clash that took place yesterday in the village of Kofa.
Correspondent Idris Jibrin in the metropolis there in Kano. Well, let's go over to our Abuja studios where Linda Akigbe has some more stories. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Millicent. Welcome to Abuja. The police and INEC have been explaining to the media how they intend to have successful elections, particularly in Madagali local government area of Adamawa State. Madagali, due to the insurgency, has witnessed a lot of setbacks, and this is why the police is making a heavy deployment to the area to avoid any disruption during the elections. The Commissioner of Police, Audu Madaki, speaks on the meeting with stakeholders in the area.
You are fully aware of what is happening in Borno, of which Madagali is a bordering town with Borno State, where we have cases of insurgency. In fact, the issue of Madagali, we have heavy deployment of policemen in that area to ensure that we don't have disruption. We don't have any incident of disruption from either known or unknown criminals. In fact, the INEC has made a perfect arrangement to take care of any threat from that angle. You see, in Malaga, the vote is going to be different from the conventional voting, whereby people are going to vote in their respective polling unit. This time around, to make it easier, and also for the safety of the institution of Madagali, the REC chairman and his officers have come to an agreement with the stakeholders of Madagali that all the polling units will be assembled in the Ward Collection Center, and that's where voting will take place simultaneously in all the in Gulak and Madagali, in 3 areas: Gulak, Madagali, and Shua. So that area, that one, I think it has been taken care of.
It's a few hours to the elections, and Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says he narrowly escaped what he described as an assassination attempt today. Narrating his escape, the governor claims he was being trailed by people he called soldiers from the 6th Division Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt, the state capital. The governor spoke to journalists after a visit by officials of the British High Commission, who said they were in the state to observe the elections. In a swift reaction, the army calls the governor's allegation a blackmail against the 6th Division Nigerian Army. The army insists it would not involve itself in any kind of politics, warning mischief makers to stay clear. Away from the elections, if anybody issues you an invoice to pay a tax or a levy that is not clearly listed by the Joint Tax Board, do not pay. These are the words of the executive chairman of the FIRS, Mr. Babatunde Fowler. Mr. Fowler, who is speaking at an interactive forum with officials and members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, explains that such cases should be reported at any of the FIRS offices for further action.
10%. This gathering of some members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, and officials from the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, is all about tax matters.
Again, I'd like to welcome you.
The interactive session is to clear doubts around tax issues such as value-added tax, VAT on animal feeds, and other questions penned down by members of MAN.
Is it possible to issue an annual tax statement to companies to enable and ensure payments are captured as at when it is made?
The executive chairman of FIRS provides answers.
We basically have in place a solution for that, which is very simple. Just register your company, the tax ID, and the authorized email or the phone number you want the notification to go to, and immediately a payment is made, you get an email or an SMS alert, and you can download that receipt and also confirm the receipt, the same with those that have got withholding tax credits.
He also touches on the issue of multiple taxation.
At the Joint Tax Board meeting, we have said that if anybody issues you an invoice to pay a tax or a levy that is not clearly listed, do not pay. Contact any office of the FIRS, whether it is states or federal tax, contest it, and we'll come and provide service, legal or otherwise, on your behalf.
A lot more questions, followed by corresponding responses that appear well taken by the participants.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
We got some comfort from him because he answered our questions, areas that were not clear. He was able to clear them, and we got to know the kind of effort that he's making to make doing business easier for us.
The president said we should expand the tax net. That is not fair indirectly for only what we call the organized private sector, only manufacturers to pay taxes. And we've explained to them that we have expanded the tax net.
In 2018, the Federal Inland Revenue Service raked in 5.3 trillion naira, with 54% of these revenue coming from the non-oil sector.
That's all from Abuja. Back to you, Millicent.
Many thanks, Linda. And this is an election story ahead of tomorrow's exercise. Some Nigerians are leaving their base to locations where they registered so as just to be able to vote. Our next report, we visited the airport and motor parks across states.
As election D-Day approaches, Nigerians appear to be going about their normal businesses. In Benin City, the capital of Edo State, Nigeria's south-south region. This is a typical bus station. Here, the passengers say the rescheduling of the exercise has not dampened their resolve to vote.
As an eligible voter, to go and cast my vote to my preferred candidates in the general elections that's coming up tomorrow.
Now to Bayelsa State in the south-south region. The story is not different at the Osbo Lake, a center which has a jetty. Some residents can be seen making a dash for their boat, which is meant to ferry them to their communities.
Last week we traveled to go and vote, but unfortunately they cancelled the election. We came back, and now the election is commencing tomorrow, which is Saturday. So we are going back to go and vote. And as we are going to vote for our rightful candidate.
Abuja, the federal capital, is not left out. At the Jabi Motor Park, officials of the National Union of Road Transport Workers are on ground to ensure full compliance of the 50% reduction announced during the week. But first, there's a procedure. Passengers' permanent voter card is carefully scrutinized before discount is offered.
If you have your PVC in your hand and you tell us you have a PVC, we give you discount. If you are paying 2,000 naira, we ask you to pay 1,000 naira, and we take you inside car, then you move.
When I came here, they were telling me it's 1,700. So when I not begged them, I pleaded them, they said, okay, I should bring 800 since I'm with my voter's card. Yes.
In Anambra State, southeast Nigeria, this market in Oka is busy as citizens around here do their last-minute shopping. Some, however, have mixed feelings about the elections.
The tension in the air is too much, so I have to go back to my hometown, Anambra, to cast my vote. So that if anything warrants running, I can easily run back to my house for shelter.
The next stop is Lagos, southwest Nigeria. The general aviation terminal is a shadow of itself as passengers trickle in. An airline official speaking off camera said owing to low patronage, various flights to the same destination were merged. Passenger traffic may be low, but the general elections is on the mind of the passengers.
Well, I'm expecting a free and fair election in this country, and I commend the efforts of the federal government, both at INEC and the media itself, for educating people of the reasons why the election has been shifted to this date.
With less than 24 hours to the much-awaited election, all eyes are on INEC to ensure that the exercise is indeed free, fair, and credible.